Hello, this is Chris Record Brown, and welcome to my tutorial on the basics of Autodesk 3ds Max. The version of 3ds Max that I'm using in this tutorial is the 2014 edition. However, the skills that you learn in this should be able to be applied to various different versions of the program. So if you go ahead and open the program, it'll bring you to a window that looks something like this. Now if you look around, you have 4 different viewpoints: the perspective, left, top, front. And this is how you keep track of where you are in 3D space. And other tools that help us navigate the 3D space is the zoom tool, which can be used by rolling the middle mouse button forward and back, or the pan tool, which is a little hand here that you can use by just pressing in the middle mouse button. Also, if you'll notice that these tools can also be found in the lower right hand corner of the screen. Here's the orbit tool that allows us to essentially orbit around the object that we're looking at. This can also be done by holding down Alt and the middle mouse button at the same time and moving the mouse. So if you look around at the interface, there's an overwhelming amount of menus. We have these on the right side, we've got all of this stuff at the top, all these sub-menus. So at first it really can be overwhelming. So we're just going to kind of break it down, and we're only going to use a few of these just in order to get the grasp of things. So we're going to reset our program here. Just go to the top left and hit reset. So the object of this tutorial is to grasp the basics of 3ds Max. So we're not going to go into every single menu, and we're not going to do, I guess, everything that you can do with the program. But what we are going to do is we're going to create a basic scene. And what we're going to have in that scene is we're going to have an object, a chair. We're going to have an environment, which we're just going to have a floor. I'm going to show you how to put a light into the scene as well as a camera. And then to wrap it all up, I'm going to show you how to render. So to start creating our scene, we're going to start by creating the chair. Now in order to do so, we're going to start by creating a box. So if you look at the top left of the screen, you'll see a little create drop down, and in that create drop down, you'll see create standard primitives, and under that you'll see box. Now another way to do that is if you look at the right side, it has all the objects and other things that you can create in the program in a quicker menu, if you will. But we're just going to do standard primitives box. And you can drag that out on any of the windows. We're going to go to the top window, and we're just going to drag that out. And if you let go of the mouse, once you drag it out, it'll let you add 3D depth to it. I'm going to bring it up a little bit. So that looks pretty good. Now in order to get, I guess, even figures, we're going to go over to the side here, and we're going to type in just even numbers. So we're going to do 80, 80, and let's say 10. So you can move your views around just so you can see your object better, honestly whatever you're comfortable with. Now we're going to look at the tools that manipulate the object itself. So if you look at the top left hand side of the screen, you'll see the tools that we will be using to manipulate the object. The first of these tools is select and move, or W on the keyboard. And this will create a gizmo on your object. So if you look at the 3 different arrows, it says X, Y, and Z, and those are the 3 directions in 3D space. So if you grab on just one of the directions, it'll allow you to only go in that direction. However, if you grab in between the 2 arrows, that will allow you to go in multiple directions at the same time. So now we're going to look at rotate, or E on the keyboard. And again, while the gizmo looks a little bit different, you can rotate one side at a time. Also, if you grab in between the lines, you can go in any direction. So now we're gonna also look at scale, or R on the keyboard. So if you grab the Z, you can scale up. The X, this makes it wider, Y. Also you can grab 2 at a time, or all of them if you want to scale the entire object. So that was just an introduction to 3ds Max. In our next video, we'll look at how to build an entire scene.